amazing display of lights. It turned green, red, green again. Yeah, I'm amazed by it. So this is my routine from the office. Then I'll have to board a bus from the office towards this area. That area. And then I'll have to walk. And while walking, we will be able to see lines of dates. I featured in one of the posts in Facebook where I accepted the challenge to post several plants, and I included this. Maybe some of you are thinking that this is just a plant made up of plastic, but this is for real. Here in the landscape, it's cut like a triangle. It is positioned perfectly in each edge. It is perfectly positioned as triangle. And in this area, you know, a lot of people spend biking and jogging. What we are doing is we are just walking towards the house. So let's observe if how many minutes are we going to spend to walk, starting off from this area. Okay, well, I was given the chance to pass through. So I'll start counting after 6 seconds. I'm sorry, it's not yet. Okay. From this time on, we'll have to start counting how many minutes we have to spend walking from the time that we stopped. I need to hurry because the signal is saying that I'm a bit late. Is it true that I am not fast in walking? So we are in the 19th Street, but the main street is actually called Marur. A huge truck is coming, just passed through. So we have to cross here, and we will continue our walk. Just similar with life, you know, even if we have plenty of problems, we have plenty of challenges these days, especially during this time of pandemic. And not only that a single race or nationality or country spared from the domino effect of COVID-19. All of us were greatly affected, and all economies all over the world seem to be stagnated these days. So no one is exempted. So similar with life, we'll just have to go on, continue to live, continue to thrive. Let's have to move on if there's a need for people to move on. If people before the quarantine time, they were not in speaking terms. I know this time is a moment for you to reconsider to speak those loved ones, because we only lived once, and we have to consider forgiving, being forgiving with those who offended us. So okay, right now we just simply passed through the many villas, I mean the 19th Street, so we are entering the service road in between the villas. So it's still, even if it is in between the villas, there are still a lot of lights. I mean, the structure here, the arrangements of lights, they really made sure that in every section they will be able to see lights. People will see the light, because in some areas, if it is dim, that's a tendency where people are going to commit crimes. So here we are being surrounded by the lights, and the light reflects here in these plants, bougainvillea. Can you spell bougainvillea? Did I give you hard time to spell bougainvillea, or did I challenge you to spell one of the most difficult words? He's looking at me. Okay. He seemed to be very serious in his job of washing the car. So from that service road, we're now entering into a very narrow road. Well, we can still fit in. I enjoyed walking because walking is a form of exercise, and my body is being toned up. I'm not a regular gym goer, but at least by the miles that I'm walking, it seems to me that my muscles no, I mean my body is being toned by the way I am doing. So right now we are passing through a lot of cars. It means that after the office, they just go home directly, and they arrive so early, unlike me, because I have to wait for the bus timing before I can reach the house. And it is economical because I will not be spending for mawakif, meaning the parking fees, and if other people will be paying for the loans of their car, and since this time it is difficult financially, then that's another burden, that's another problem. And since most of us have responsibilities financially back home, so we have to evade from having additional financial burden if we could. But of course, if you are able and if you see that there is a need for you to buy a car, then go ahead. Mm, we have been walking for more than 7 minutes already, and the weather is very favorable to our skin. One of the reasons also that I am walking, because normally beside the garbage bin you'll be able to see some receptacles like containers, and we normally took all this and bring it to our garden so that we'll be able to plant. In that sense, we are increasing the areas where we are planting. So in fact, yesterday during my harvest, I was able to harvest the leaves of sweet potato from the 5 containers filled with sweet potato. Although it was planted long ago, 6 months ago, if you have, for example, 10 of this, then you'll be able to harvest 300 pieces of 300 vines of sweet potato, because yesterday of the 5 containers I was able to harvest 100. So it really helps a lot. That is why, that's also one of the purpose why I am walking, because in walking you'll be able to see a lot of usable, reusable materials like containers, like pots, or even a styrofoam, and we use it for planting. Even my neighbor, she's actually using it for planting. Shout out to Warrior Mom, Sister Chris. She actually tagged me just today of the video she took from my garden. Oh, 2 days ago, well, let me just show you how far we got. You remember the light? Yeah, that's where we started. And yes, and we've gone far. We are now reaching here. Okay. Yeah, 2 days ago, while passing in here, I saw the owner of the villa cut the trees, and my plan was really to take all of the branches for me to be able to use as post, and sensing that it's very heavy, so I refused to take, and only yesterday that I took 3 branches of it. This is part of the tree, and the base of it still remain alive inside the villa. We are nearing the house, and while nearing the house, I am feeling so refreshed, because while nearing the house, the breeze seemed to be very cold, like a cold water when you drink. See, these are the example of garbages that they are throwing, and some of the people are actually harvesting or taking this cardboard for them to sell. So right now, um, this portion is a bit dim. Why? Because there are trees. You can notice trees. Trees. High trees, huge trees. And this is also the place where I saw Spotted. I don't know if Spotted could still recognize me. I did not see them here. The team, Whitey and Spotted. So carefully we have to cross the other side. But since this is a curve, and suddenly there are cars which eventually will just appear. So like that, there's a motorcycle. Following that motorcycle is a car. So we have to be very cautious. If there is a presence of light coming or approaching, it means that there is a car. So you have to be very cautious in crossing. Because some of the drivers admitted they seem to be having an assumption that there is no people, even if it is in a sharp curve situation. We are nearing the house, ladies and gentlemen. We are approaching the house right now. You know, our neighbor also, we are being influenced by them because we observed that they are fond of planting, like this one. There is a fig tree, fig fruit available, but of course that's a private property. We should refrain from videoing, or else we're going to be reprimanded by the owner of the villa. And before reaching the house, we will be able to pass through our mini garden. And before our mini garden, you'll be able to see this. There is a school. Yeah, that's the school. I cannot see, but the name of the school is Little Garden Nursery. And beside the little garden, we have a little garden here. Spotted! This is the real little garden here. So it's about time for me to enter another room because we just arrived. This is now the house. We are now entering the house. Thank you, guys.